Welcome to May is National Physical Fitness and Sports Month with Department of Parks and Recreation, Prince George's County. This is your home each week to stay healthy and motivated. Let's live more, play more indoors.
Hi, my name is Cynthia, and today we're going to be making an oldie but goodie, a smoothie. So before we hop into making this smoothie, let's talk about the ingredients and some of the health benefits that go along with it. So the base of our smoothie today is going to be blueberries. One of the things I love about blueberries is that it has plenty of antioxidants, which help with any anti-inflammatory needs that you may have. The other thing you can do with really any smoothie, but a hint to parents, one of the things I like to suggest is that you switch up the colors with smoothies. That makes your kids have more fun. So maybe today it's blue for blueberries, but maybe tomorrow it's red for strawberries, or maybe you add bananas and pineapple and now it's yellow/orange. You really can do whatever you want and get that interaction from your children. So next, we're going to talk about a spice that we're going to add, and today it's going to be cinnamon. Now you can really add any other spice. Other ones I suggest are turmeric, or ginger will add a really robust flavor. But that's what I really like about adding spices to my smoothie. On top of that, it also has a lot of antioxidants, so it's going to give you that anti-inflammatory benefit. Next, we have spinach. Now, one of the things I'm obsessed with adding spinach to my smoothies, to other things I like to cook, is that spinach doesn't really taste like anything, especially in a smoothie. And when you have flavors that are really robust, like berries, cinnamon is a really heavy flavor, you're not going to taste the spinach at all. So what a wonderful way to add some greens to your day. And not only that, but add those vitamins and minerals that come along with spinach, and you're not even going to know they're there. Next, we're going to look at our natural sweetener, honey. One of the things that I love about honey is it doesn't spike your insulin as high as a lot of other sweeteners that aren't as natural. And I have raw honey, but you don't have to do raw honey. Organic, non-organic, raw, not raw is a whole nother conversation for another day. But having honey or even like coconut sugar would be a great benefit to the smoothie if you're really trying to keep it natural. So next we have coconut milk. So I'm using coconut milk, but you can use almond milk, you can use flaxseed milk, you can use cashew milk, you can use regular milk. And if you have none of the above, you really could just use water. So just use what you have on hand. Next, we have vanilla. And vanilla is one of those other things that's just going to add a little bit more flavor to our smoothie. And then finally, one of my favorite parts is peanut butter. I love peanut butter. And peanut butter is a fat and a protein, and that's what nuts are made of. So it's going to add a depth or a heaviness to the smoothie that's going to help, in the nutrition world, we call it satiated. So it's going to help satiate you, which means it's just going to help you feel fuller longer. So let's go ahead, start putting everything into the smoothie. One of my favorite things about smoothies, and really a lot of things that I try to make, is I call it a dump fest, which sounds a little weird. But the idea is that you're putting everything into one container or one kitchen tool, and you turn it on, let it go, and that's the end of that. So that's exactly what we're going to do right now. So let's start with our blueberries. And with our blueberries, we are going to use half a cup of frozen blueberries. I like frozen because I feel like it allows you to not need to put ice, but it's really up to you. If you have sensitive teeth, it could be a benefit because then you don't have to add ice if you like it cold. But if not, just use fresh blueberries and you don't have to worry about it being too cold. So let's move to our cinnamon. And with the cinnamon, we're going to use half a teaspoon of cinnamon. Just enough to get those benefits. But cinnamon, once again, is a very intense flavor. So if you put too much, if you love cinnamon, it'll be great. But if you're not crazy about cinnamon, it will kind of overtake the smoothie. So next, we are going to hit the spinach, and we're going to put a half a cup of spinach. And one of the things about spinach and going back to that kind of eating with colors, another great way of, if you want a green smoothie, but you want it to taste really flavorful and maybe not like vegetables, you could add kiwi. If you like cucumber, you could add cucumber, and you can add banana. If you add banana, that's going to give it another type of natural sweetness. And once again, the great thing about spinach is you can barely taste it, if not at all, in a smoothie. So let's next go to this honey. And I'm going to use 1 tablespoon, but something to think about, especially when you're looking at any recipe, is that it's really up to you, because your taste buds and mine may be very different. So I like 1 tablespoon, but if you want it a little bit sweeter, go ahead and add 2, maybe 1.5, maybe like less. So you'll put a half a tablespoon, or maybe you don't want this type of sweetener. Maybe you want to go for the banana as opposed to the honey. Feel free to do whatever you want, because it's your smoothie. You are in control. Okay, so now let's hit the milk. Once again, I have coconut milk that is vanilla, and we're going to put 1 cup. I prefer to use unsweetened because you're going to get that sweetness from the honey, but that's a little bit of a hack too. Once again, if you're not interested in adding any other type of honey, swerve, coconut, sugar, any of those types of things, you could just use a sweetened milk, and that'll do just as well as having a sweetener. So let's do our vanilla, and it's another thing that we are trying to add some flavor with this vanilla, but we're not going to add too much so that it overtakes the smoothie. And finally, the piece de resistance, we are going to add the peanut butter. Once again, like I said a little bit earlier, one of my favorites, because I absolutely love peanut butter. Now, the thing about peanut butter is I realize a lot of people have nut allergies. So if you have a nut allergy, one of my suggestions is to use sunflower butter, if you can find it. It doesn't taste exactly like peanut butter, but it's the same consistency and has a very similar taste. If you are allergic to peanuts, but can still handle other types of nuts, you go ahead with an almond butter or cashew butter. There are so many butters out there these days that you really can switch it up. And even if you aren't allergic to nuts, still switch it up. But the benefit of having these nut butters, once again, like I said in the beginning, is you're now adding a protein and a fat. And that's going to add to that vocabulary world I gave you a little bit earlier of satiety, which is that fullness. A lot of times if we eat things that are just carbs, if you eat like a bagel in the morning without anything on it, if you've ever had that experience of you eat it and you feel hungry like maybe an hour later, it's because there wasn't a protein, there wasn't a fat to really add some depth to your food to make you feel full longer. So that's what that peanut butter is going to do for our smoothie. And another thing you can do if you don't want peanut butter at all, you could add something like avocado. Avocado is going to give your smoothie a creaminess, but it's a fat. So it's also, once again, going to give you that fullness to your smoothie. So I don't put my smoothie on for a particular amount of time. I kind of just run it and look at it, and I like my stuff kind of smooth. So just depending on your blender and depending on how chunky or smooth you want your smoothie to be is when you'll stop it. So let's go ahead and get that started. And that's it. You saw how I faked you out with that first turn off. That's the end of the drink. That's the end of the breakfast. That's the end of the snack. It's whatever you want it to be. And easy peasy, once again, you just throw everything into a blender and it's done. So I hope that you enjoyed this recipe, and thank you for watching. Have a great day.
Thanks for joining us. Be sure to tune in again for the next May is National Physical Fitness and Sports Month video with the Department of Parks and Recreation, Prince George's County. Tell a friend this is the place to live more, play more indoors.